Perfect. Well, greetings, everyone. My name is Pannu. I'm the operations lead for the IlliniCloud, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to and thank you for attending our webinar today that's going to be covering the Neo product. This is an interactive session, so we encourage people to jump into the chat window and type in any questions that you may have. Depending on the nature of the question, we may answer them in stride or maybe save them for the end. So by all means, put in your questions and we'll get to them when we can. Joining us today is Patrick Verda from the Cypher Learning team, and I'll turn it over to him for intros and taking us forward. Over to you, Patrick.
Awesome. Thanks, Jet. Good morning. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for being here. As Jet mentioned, my name is Patrick Verda. I'm the director of our education markets for Cypher Learning, and today's webinar will feature a brief demonstration of the Neo learning management system. This webinar is scheduled for 30 minutes. And I'll have, in terms of logistics, I've got all lines muted just so that we can keep the background noise at bay. As Jet mentioned, if there's any questions, please use the chat function. I'll monitor that. Our presenter today is Graham Glass. He's based at Cypher Learning's headquarters in San Francisco. He is the Neo product expert for us, and he's a former educator. He used to be a professor of computer science at the University of Texas in Dallas. So certainly is a pleasure to have Graham facilitating for us today. Without any further ado, I'll just turn it over to Graham.
Okie dokie. Well, thank you very much, Patrick. As you mentioned, I actually used to be a professor teaching computer science at the University of Texas, Dallas. So I have education running through my blood. And so for the next 30 minutes, I'm just going to give you a little guided tour of the Neo learning management system. Neo actually means new, and I think when you see the demo of this thing, you'll notice that it has a refreshingly new feel to the entire system. Neo is available in 40 languages. It's used around the world, from very large universities to Santa Barbara School District as a local customer of ours. And so I think you'll find the feature set to be pretty comprehensive. Now, I know we only have 30 minutes, so I'm gonna go right into showing you around the system. So what we did is we created a fictitious school called Appleton. And what you're looking at right now is what we call the visitor portal. So even before any of your teachers or students log in, you can actually create a beautiful customized portal that looks somewhat like this. You don't have to use this feature. You can just have a single login box or single sign-on. But a lot of schools like to promote their school in this kind of fashion. And as you can see, it's a very beautiful portal. You can drag and drop graphical panels and make your site's interface look really beautiful. If you wish to, you can also publish your course catalog. So some schools kind of like to show visitors, here are the courses that are available to us. Some schools actually make some open courses available to visitors. And as you can see, it's a very visually attractive catalog. Let me drill down into science, for example. And under science, there's the topic of Earth. And under Earth, here is the geography course. And this is the course that I'm going to show you in just a few minutes from both a student perspective and a teacher perspective. Before I actually log in as a student, I want to mention just a few things about our user interface because it is one of our product differentiators. So as I'm sure you all know, it's a kind of a mobile-first society where people expect to be able to get at your site from a smartphone, through a downloadable mobile app, through a laptop or a PC. So everything about our system is responsive. So for example, if I shrink the site down, as if I was viewing from a mobile phone, you'll notice that everything still looks really good. And the nice thing from a teacher's perspective is you can create courses safe in the knowledge that however you create those courses, students are going to be able to access them. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to first log in as a student because after all, the students are the main users of your learning management system. So I'm going to click here, login. And I'm going to log in as Sally Johnson. We support single sign-on through Google Apps, through Clever, through Microsoft 365. So a lot of different ways to authenticate people. And when I log in, here is what you would see. Now, this is another big differentiator of our learning management system. So there are quite a few systems out there that frankly look like they were designed about 10 to 15 years ago they're more text-based, or if they are graphical, it doesn't look that good. But one of the things that we've found is, modern day kids are used to really nice user interfaces on almost all the consumer products they use, whether it's Twitter or Facebook or Pinterest. And so one of the things that we felt was important was to create a learning management system which also gave them a very modern feel. So in this particular case, here is Sally. She just logged in, and she will see graphical tiles for all of the courses that she's currently in. So she's in 6 courses here, and this is the geography course that we're going to dive into in just a minute. And notice these tiles, not only are they beautiful, but they also give you useful information. So here is Sally's progress meter. We're using a very nice feature called gamification in Neo. So the kids will actually receive points and badges as they perform certain tasks. So Sally is number 3 here. And before we go into this particular thing, into the course catalog can be made available to students, or it can be hidden. It's totally up to you. And in addition to courses, which are more for the formal learning aspects, we've also got excellent support for collaboration groups. So students will oftentimes form study groups where they can study on their own. Faculty might have their own password-protected faculty groups. And all of these systems include collaboration options like live chat, video conferencing, direct messaging, communication through news feeds. So it's really important that people be able to communicate in a variety of different ways, and that's all built directly into Neo. Similarly, on the left-hand side, here is a news feed. And this news feed is a lot like a kind of a Facebook feed. It's rolling up everything that's happening in your groups and courses. And if you enable the option, students can post to the news feed as well. So it's really up to you how you want these communication channels to be used. Got a nice welcome page. So Appleton has decided to give everyone a nice welcome. So here's all about our fictitious school. Here is the user's catalog, so a student can easily communicate with their teachers. So I might want to say, hey, all of my teachers, I'm really sorry I couldn't come to class, but I'm feeling a bit ill today. Or if you want to communicate with your parents, so we have very nice support for parents in Neo. I can always, I don't know why you want to communicate with your parents through Neo, but you could always say, hey, mum and dad, I'm really doing great at school. Before I show you the teacher view, I just want to show you what it's like to be a student in a Neo course. So let's click on geography. And as you can tell, we have put a lot of work into making Neo really pleasant and enjoyable to use for the students. And that's really important because if students feel engaged, they're going to have fun in the system, they're going to interact with their friends and their teachers. But some of the LMSs don't exactly encourage an engaging experience. So in this particular case, here is the geography course. And we've got our colored tiles for each one of the main lessons in the course. The teachers configured this so students have to take courses in the sections in a particular order. So as you can see here, I've completed the introduction, I've completed spatial organization, and I'm currently somewhere in the landforms section. And notice as well, up here it's telling me, hey, I've made 78 progress through the course. Here is how well I'm mastering materials. And one of our most popular features, this student is participating in a game. So depending on how they do in their assignments and depending on how they participate, Neo has been instructed by the teachers to automatically give points and badges, and the student can see here where they are in the leaderboard. If I click on a particular lesson, it'll take me right back to where I left off, so I can resume. And this is taking me right into an area to do with landforms. And as you can see, when you're inside Neo, it's really easy. This is all done by a teacher using our built-in content authoring tool. So this is not some professionally crafted content. This is just done by a regular teacher using our authoring tool. And as the student goes through the course, it's simply a question about, hey, show me the next section. And here is some additional content. And they will also take quizzes. They'll take assignments. Everything is designed for easy online submission and easy online grading. And if I just drill down just for fun into the game, this is where the student can find out, hey, here's how well I'm doing. And this is fun because it's a geography course. We decided to make the levels of the game drizzle, rain, storm, tornado, and tsunami. So if you get to tsunami, that means you've earned 800 points. And they can see here, hey, I can get a badge for completing this particular section. I can get a Captain Planet badge for completing the environment. And here are all the ways that I can earn points. And it might sound somewhat frivolous, but we have found empirically that using our system for things like games and can really make it a lot more fun for kids going through these courses. I also want to point out the mastery feature. This is another one of our big, very powerful features. One of the things that you can do as a teacher is you can tag your courses and say, this particular lesson is teaching the following proficiencies. This particular assessment is assessing the following proficiencies. And if I click on mastery, this is Neo giving the student direct feedback about how well they are doing throughout the course. And this student happens to be doing really well. So they've been averaging, 100, 93, 85. If there were some areas that they were a little bit weaker in, then it will automatically show them an orange or a red, which indicates to the student, here are some room for improvement. So to recap, we've tried to make the Neo user interface really visually beautiful, very modern, and engaging for the students. But how about the teachers? So I'm going to log out for a second here, and I'm going to log in as a teacher, which in this case happens to be me. So here is a typical teacher view. So in this particular case, these are the courses that I am currently responsible for. And Neo supports blended classes, instructor-led classes, and self-paced courses. And we are actually starting to see a trend towards using more self-paced courses for supplemental after-school courses, instructor-led courses for the bricks and mortar in the classroom. And there are some schools that actually are using blended, where the students will actually not come in on a Monday and then actually do a lot of the courses from home. So a lot of flexibility in how you do things. Here's the student view of the geography class that I just showed you. So because the teacher is the author, it looks a little bit different. Here are all the lessons from a teacher's perspective. Oh, before I forget, by the way, notice this very nice option here. So if your colleagues or some of your students are online, Neo will automatically indicate online people, and you can either start a live chat. So I'm going to say, hi, Sally. Or you can send them a message, or if they're using Skype, you can start a video conference with them. So a lot of nice ways to communicate with people. So let's go into a particular lesson here. This lesson is made out of 2 sections. And generally speaking, a lesson is made out of content pages, which can include images, video, music, whatever you like. One of 12 different kinds of assignments. So Neo actually has more assessment types than any other product on the market. Or if you happen to be using a third-party authoring tool, you can export virtually any content from any system and upload it into Neo. So in this case, we had one HTML section, geography. And I want to emphasize this is all built using our content authoring tool. So if you want to create really beautiful materials and share them with your students, we have a built-in editor for doing that, which also includes extensions like math equation editors if you're teaching science and math. You can record audio directly from your browser and upload it. You can also record video. So if you just want to use your camera and record a video, then you can do that. And I got a couple of little chat questions. So Bucky asked, can chat be disabled? And the idea is yes. So you can disable chat within your course. You can disable it through your entire site through an administration policy. And that's true actually generally. It's not just chat. You can enable or disable things usually within a course and also at a site-wide level. There's another question by Cholt86, and the answer is yes. All of your chats are recorded as a transcript, and you can review that transcript later. You can even monitor chat. So Neo does real-time monitoring of every single communication, whether it's messages, forums, or chat, between everyone on the site, and it monitors them for naughty words and can even flag naughty words and give you a report so you can follow up with naughty students. So as a teacher, what you'd normally do is you create a course, which in Neo is super easy. I might be able to show that in a few minutes. You create a course, you add your lessons, and then at this point you will have a somewhat linear overall. It's almost like writing a book. Now, in a lot of systems, that's kind of it, but in Neo, we have a lot of very nice features that allow you to make your course more fun and engaging for the students. So I'll give you a couple of examples. The first one is gamification. So you can create a game inside of Neo, and this game can be within an individual course, or you can actually have courses that span courses. So you could have a school-wide game called Participation, and students can earn points all over the system. But I'm going to take a quick thing. Bernie said, can you show the content editor? So I'm going to go here. So here is the content authoring tool. And as I mentioned, this is basically like a Microsoft Word WYSIWYG editor with quite a lot of extensions. And we're continuing to invest in the content authoring tool. So quite soon, you're going to be able to author animations. You can already drag and drop materials from Google Drive, OneDrive. So if you're using one of those kinds of systems, you can add information from almost any kind of third-party repository. So going back to the games, I can create a fun game for my course and define the levels. And then you can use one of our very special features called our rules engine, which allows you to tell Neo when to give points and when to give badges. And the rules engine is part of our secret sauce. I think we're the only LMS that I'm aware of that actually has this capability. So all over the system, you can do things like this. I can say, when you go to a lesson, when you complete the lesson, you can click Add. And you can say, when you complete this lesson, perform the following actions. So I can say, when you complete the lesson, I'm going to give you a badge. And we have a graphical badge builder that allows you to define your own custom badges, which is really a lot of fun for a teacher as well, by the way. Or I can say, when you complete this survey, so it's really common at the beginning of a course to say, please let us know what you want to get out of this course. You can say, when you complete the survey, maybe automatically give you 100 points or send them a custom message. And this rules engine is very general. So you can say, for example, let's just say I want to say, when you enroll into a course, I'm going to automatically send you a customized video message. So I can say, when you enroll, I'm going to add a custom notification. Welcome to my fun class. Because let's face it, you really want to make courses fun. And I can customize it. We've got a template engine. Dear user first name, dear David or dear Sally. Great to have you here. And then I could click here, record a video message, and maybe I want to send it to them 5 minutes after they join the class. So there's another example where I'm making my course more fun, engaging by giving students unexpected messages. I have a message from Bucky here that says, district's been slow to adopt a common LMS. Is there a path for migration? So the answer is yes. Most of those systems, by the way, they're not SCORM-based. They're actually, a lot of them proprietary. But we have support for native Moodle import. So if you're using Moodle, you can import your courses directly into Neo. We have Blackboard import. So if you're using Blackboard, we can import it. And we also support the industry standard common cartridge format. So any modern system, you can export a course as common cartridge format, and then you can import it directly into Neo. So I've shown you a little bit about creating lessons, a little bit about using the rules engine, which is part of our secret sauce for making the course more fun. I have to, of course, mention the student dashboard. So the student dashboard allows you at a glance to see the status of all of your students. So Sally Johnson, for example, she's almost through the course. She's doing pretty good. Here is a score, and here's a mastery. So for example, and yes, Bernie ACS, IMS Common Cartridge is exactly what I'm referring to. So I can go to Sally and say, okay, show me her scores. So Sally is doing pretty good score-wise. Here is a timeline of everything that Sally has done since she enrolled. Here is how long she has spent in the various lessons. Here is her completion status, so you can see exactly where she is in the course, things she's being stuck on. And if you use our mastery feature, and of course we've got built-in support for all the common core standards and a lot of state standards, and we're always adding more standards almost on a weekly basis. This is showing me how well the student is understanding things at a very detailed level. So I've tagged certain assignments that say, hey, this assignment is assessing standard 2.1. And as you can see, Sally is doing pretty good. She's getting a good rating. One of the things that we're going to be adding later on this year is an integration between our rules engine and mastery. So you can actually tell the system, hey, if Sally is falling behind in a certain thing, then automatically send her a message with some supplementary materials. And one of the goals of Neo is to allow you to take all of the hints and tips and things you have learned as an educator over the years and upload those as rules into Neo. And that not only automates some of the everyday drudgery of running a course, but you're going to be able to share those rules through the resources catalog with other teachers in your school district. Fantastic gradebook. Too many features to really go into here, but virtually everything that you could need in a gradebook is built directly into Neo. If you have small kids, then you can create a seating chart. We've got a really nice drag and drop way to create your seating charts. So go ahead and save this. And you can even hover over the seating chart to get information about how the children are doing. Wow, Billy's got 144%. That's really good. Question between badges and data elements. If you move students between two Neo districts, yeah, they will go along. Well, if it's within schools within the same district, they will go along. There is a way to actually network school districts in Neo. So if you've got two districts using Neo, then you could actually transfer students and everything that they have will go along with them. I want to show you a few cool features because we've only got 5 minutes left. So first of all, the resources catalog. This is a really important part of Neo. So as you create resources in any of your courses or any of your groups, they are automatically arranged by subject and by type in the Neo resources catalog. And as you can see, it's very attractive visually. I can go and let's just take a look at what's in the art catalog. So I've shared a rubric here, some files, I've got a curriculum, I've got a certificate of completion and some web resources. And I want to emphasize a few things. First of all, if you want to, you can actually share some of these resources and make the resources catalog available to students. That's a very new feature. Another very cool feature is your ability to subscribe to the resources catalog. So if I click subscribe here, what I'm telling Neo is that if anyone uploads a resource to the art section, the resources catalog, automatically send me a notification. And you'll actually get a notification that says, Sally Johnson just shared a video, call this with a link in the art resources catalog. And this resources catalog can span schools and can even span districts. So if you want to share resources with everyone, it's just a matter of saying resources add, I'm going to create a badge and I'm going to share it with everyone in my district, create my badge, say save, and maybe put it into the art area. Another really nice feature of Neo is the ability to generate reports. And these reports can even be scheduled. So you can say, hey, every Monday morning, I want to get the missing work report of all the students in all of my courses. So I can just say, create a new report. It's going to be for the last week or last month for all of my courses. And I might save this. And now later on, I can say, I'm going to schedule this report. And here's my report. And I'm going to schedule it for weekly, every week on Monday. And now when I come in on Monday morning, this report is automatically going to be sitting there for me to review. And I can just run it. I'm just going to go ahead and run it right now. Usually it only takes a few minutes. And here are all the students and all their missing work, and I can go ahead and print that out and use it. We have a couple of minutes left. Very last thing I'm going to mention is we have made Neo super easy to administer. So if you have thousands of students, if there is any friction in the process, whoops, hang on, let me just try. If there's any friction in the process, it's going to become painfully obvious. So when I log in as an admin, I get an admin dashboard. I can see everything that's going on at a glance, and everything that I want to administer can be done by point and click. So whether it's customizing my canned messages, customizing which apps are installed, customizing the catalog, all of these things can be done by a total non-technical person. So for example, if I go into the portal section, let's just say that I want to change the site terminology and say, hey, everywhere instead of lesson, I want to see module. I can do that just simply point and click. Or if I want to customize the color scheme, here's my color scheme picker. So, so I know we're at the end here. I really appreciate you spending the time to see the demo. Of course, we're only just scratching the surface. As you can tell, Neo has a lot of rich functionality, but hopefully this has given you quite a nice idea of what's capable. So at this point, I will pass over back to Patrick.
Thanks, Graham. Appreciate your time in walking us through that. That does conclude our presentation. Jat, any closing remarks? No? All right. Well, I appreciate everyone being here. Thank you again. Look forward to hearing from you soon. Bye-bye.
Okay, take care, everybody. Bye.